are ready for the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Spitzahl hoch und ab geht's. Attacke. Dramatic start.
Das ist doch Autorennen.
So much action.
Das ist doch geil, oder?
Absolutely glued together. 3 abreast.
Das ist ganz hohe Fahrkunst.
Round the outside and he spins.
Germany's Eifel Hills in early August. The Nuerburgring with its long and short stretches, that's the Eifel. The next station of the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland.
I grew up here watching my father racing, so it's a special place for me.
With a castle up above.
Historic place, being here with DTM is also a big event, a lot of spectators.
Looking down on thrilling racing action.
Summer break is over.
Awesome track, awesome layout.
I hope so. It's dry, but what we can't say, if it's raining, raining. We fight.
The Porsche Carrera Cup at the Nuerburgring. Motorsport fans are anxiously looking forward to races 7 and 8 of the 2023 season. A brief review. The Fast 1MA Cup was already in the Eifel in April for the pre-season test days.
We don't race the Grand Prix track. We do the short version.
Track walk time. A time to take the Porsche talent pool, the young up-and-coming drivers, on a tour of the racetrack. We're now here at the Nürburgring and we're taking advantage of the day before the race starts to walk around the track and talk about a few curves, especially this one corner. There are a few sticking points that we'll definitely look at. They are positions on the Nürburgring track where you need to orient yourself, points to memorize and gather tips from the pros. From an experienced race driver like Wolf Hensler, of course, it's always good to know what special features there are on the track. Curbs to watch out for, bumps, so there are always some points you didn't know of yet that were explained from another point of view that are also helpful for me on the track. A track where anything can happen, and never underestimate the weather in the Eifel. You never really know what to expect here. Cold or warm, rain, or even snow. The Nürburgring is always good for surprises, but I think we'll still have enough time and the track will be dry and we can drive properly. A special place is maybe the chicane. We're about to get there now. The curb is relatively high, so you need to take it correctly. The car jumps quite a bit if you take the curb the wrong way. So it's important that you just find the right line.
Regarding the drag limits, it's always a big thing. When your left wheels come here, you also see it. If you hit it here with your left wheels, it's more smooth. And then it should be okay that your right wheels are maybe here, just on the edge, just next to the line around that. Especially here, give your tire and the tire pressure a couple of laps. Your team will also tell you, depending how low you start. But don't go out in your first time lap and hit it. That's important. Otherwise you break your tire. And then the next thing, next curb, is the same. You also hit it, but you cannot go straight. This is track limit then. If you go on the right side of with all 4 wheels on the yellow curb, this would be a drag limit.
On foot around the Nürburgring, 3.629 kilometers per lap. On foot is much longer than when you're driving. When driving, you never think about how long the track is. Getting a feel for the track, seeing things that you perceive completely differently in a race car.
In the last turn is more like you have to focus on a good exit for the straight. So I was always paying more attention on turning a little bit later and have a later apex.
The Porsche talent pool doing the track walk at the Nürburgring. 3 weeks ago in Frankfurt, it was a different kind of weekend. The Porsche talent pool went to a football stadium.
So guys, before we start, I want to introduce our new team members for today, right? The Porsche Carrera Cup talent pool. We're very excited to have you here and welcome to the Frankfurt Galaxy. Let's have some fun, take care of each other and have a good day. Lawrence, break us down.
Hey, it's Galaxy on 3, okay? Galaxy on 3, Galaxy on me. 1, 2, 3, Galaxy!
Today we're playing a round of American football. We're here with a professional football team in Frankfurt, the Frankfurt Galaxy. We'll have a look at that today and have a training together. We just want to give them a feeling of what it's like to put on pads and helmets, and then of course get into the real activities. Swapping motorsport overalls for protective American football gear. At practice, the young Porsche racers learn tackling techniques and running against opposition. The pros show the way. The next generation of motorsports fans can do the same. And catching the football is not as easy as it looks. Catching the ball is a bit hard, still need a bit more practice, but otherwise everything else was really cool, really fun. The helmet is a bit different. It's a bit heavier than our helmets. It's very exhausting, but also great fun. It's really cool to get to know how American football players train. And they get to experience an actual game of the European Football League. It's a Galaxy home game against the Hamburg Sea Devils, and the Porsche young talents have good seats in the stands. Wow, I can really feel it now. Yesterday after practice I really developed an interest in football. I'm excited to see how the game ends. He just does this one motion and you go flying. The team from Hamburg initially takes the lead through 2 quarters. But then the tide turns. In the end, the Frankfurt Galaxy squeak out a 17-14 victory. We are looking forward to them visiting us at the Nuerburgring and that we can show them our sport as well and hopefully inspire them as much as they have inspired us for this sport. The Porsche talent pool at the Frankfurt Galaxy.
Galaxy on me! Galaxy on me! 1, 2, 3! Galaxy!
It was a weekend away from the racetrack while gathering insights into another fast, cool sport. Now the return visit. 3 weeks later at the Nuerburgring, players from the Frankfurt Galaxy visit the team from the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Football meets motorsport. I'm a big car fan. I enjoy it a lot too. I also drive very fast privately. Of course not comparable, but it's absolutely an awesome event. We've been here for an hour and a half now and are excited about what's about to happen here. Since the pre-start, the football players have been all eyes, especially when the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup cars start their engines and that very distinct sound is heard. Off to the starting grid for the race on Saturday. American football players at a car race for the first time and right in the middle of the starting grid, of course also live in front of the camera.
Very impressive, you know, like the smell alone, it's the smell of adrenaline, you know, and big balls.
A quick photo, then it's down to business with race number 7 in the Fast One May Cup. Out of the grid, off to the spectators. The race is finally on.
.32 Porsche 911 cars on their way into the first corner. Larry 10-4 in front, Harry King alongside, Morris Schering and Neil Köhler right behind them.
I
got off to a good start today and was able to work my way to the front. I could decouple myself from the others and battle my way into P3 and was able to hold my position.
Starting P4, Köhler overtakes Schering and is now behind King. He's had no podiums in the first 6 races of the season, but now his time has come. Schering, who recently won his first Super Cup race, is defending from Porsche Junior Bastian Boos. They bounce off each other and Boos has to take to the gravel. The safety car is out, the colourful Porsche Taycan on track, and here's why. It's Vincent Andronacco spinning and being collected by Adam Smalley.
2 guys in front of me crash into each other, roadblock, nowhere to go, so I try to get out of the way. The tiniest bit of contact and it snapped the front toe link.
Smalley was trying to get around the curve too, and then things just went straight into the wall and the race was over. I was well positioned for Group 4 and then got a little bump from behind and found myself just standing there the wrong way around watching 30 cars come at me. That's a pretty stupid feeling, but I tried to stay out of it and then finish the race, perhaps take some points at the end.
Time for the restart. The safety car peels off into the pit lane. Larry Tenforder backs the pack up. It's time for him to take control.
I could have had a little bit more traction. I came out a bit crosswise, but had a very good last corner. That's important because then you can take your speed into the straight. It was a good restart.
We're riding on board with Leon Köhler. He's behind Harry King. The Frankfurt Galaxy players are getting to watch the race from a very exclusive position. Tenforder stays in front, followed by King, Köhler, Alex Tauscher and Loek Hartog. These are the top five. That's Ghislain Cordier loses control into the tyre barrier. Now let's see what happened here. It looks like Harry Jones had something to do with it. Just the slightest contact is enough to cause the car to spear off into the barriers. The American football players look on, but now Tauscher has a problem.
There was the little contact in the first corner with Morris Schuring, to put it nicely. And he then unfortunately completely damaged my spoiler lip at the front. It then also fell off on the next lap, which also affected my race quite a bit. But after all, I think I can be satisfied with P8.
Motorsport can be a full contact sport. The Frankfurt Galaxy players are sharing the action. Tauscher versus Alex Fack. They're having a great fight. Typical one-make cup racing. Every driver has the same chance, so it's always very close here in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. In the Pro-Am race, Soren Spreng is the leader. He's having quite a battle here with the youngest driver in the field, 16-year-old Janis Stiak. He finally overtakes him on the outside.
I had a good start, could then maintain my position, and then had another exciting moment on the penultimate lap when a rookie drove into the back of me. Luckily, nothing else happened, and then won the race. So all in all, a super race for me.
This is the fight for fourth place. It's Loek Hartog with Bastian Buus just behind him.
I made good progress in the race, was in fourth position at the end, and had a little tussle with Bastian Buus on the last lap.
Buus is trying everything to gain the position. His season is not running well so far, so he's fighting for every point and overtakes Hartog off the track. Luke is fighting back, but the stewards have decided to punish Bastian with a time penalty. And that means that P6 is the best that the Dane is going to score today. Meanwhile, Larry Tenforder has a 2-second gap at the front and can enjoy the last few meters of the race, taking the checkered flag. His boss, Torsten van Haasteren, is happy about Tenforder's fourth win of the season. Harry King comes home in second, and Leon Köhler happy about his first podium in the 2023 season.
In the beginning, we thought we were battling for the championship, and then everything kind of went the wrong way. It was pretty depressing for all of us, for me and for the team. Now we have a very long way to go, but we're all very happy with P3. The overview after the result of Saturday's race. 10:40 ahead of King and Köhler. Cuba Racing, Leon Köhler, here you go. A podium spot on Saturday. But they have the best place this weekend. The players of the Frankfurt Galaxy, they get to take a spin around the track in the race cab. You definitely get excited now that you're close up and personal. Don't know what to expect, but it'll be extreme, I guess.
Galaxy in the house!
Absolutely fierce. He drove right out of the first corner, slamming down the road with I don't know how much speed, going 100% into the curves, drifting, hardly slowing down. He did it with such ease and with such control. It was absolutely awesome. Definitely 10 out of 10. I have to do it again. Doing fast laps as a co-pilot, stretching it to the limit, full throttle, and then back to the iron. It was radical, really awesome, no kidding. This is what it feels like when a racer hits the gas. Just awesome. I have to say that's a lifetime experience. Very, very cool. After that experience, there's another exclusive pit tour for the Frankfurt Galaxy. Alexander Tauscher explains some things about his Porsche to the players and gives some interesting insights about the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland. all part of the DTM at the Nuerburgring. It was absolutely exciting. I truly enjoyed every minute. It was very cool to see the race from the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland. Then also to see the guys with whom we also did the training session, to see the guys in their element. Because we were only allowed to see them a bit in the football gear on the field, it was really cool to see how the guys drive. Much respect. That's not something everyone can do. To drive with 200 clicks there in the curve, that's, wow, my utmost respect. Finally, it's dinner time with the Porsche Talent Pool. And now, questions for a rookie. Up now, Theo Overhaus. Here you go. I came to motorsport through my father. He started racing at about the age of 40 as an amateur driver. He always took me to the racetrack, and that's how I was introduced to motorsports. My favorite racetrack is definitely Spa, because I just love every single corner there. The flow, the corners, ups and downs, the scenery. It's just a dream track for me. I wouldn't change anything about it. It's a great honor for me to be part of the Porsche Talent Pool. I learn a lot there. I'm taught a lot, and it's really a great opportunity for me. I think the most exciting moment was when I went down the Eau Rouge together with Harry King in the rain. We bumped each other there, which was quite nerve-wracking. My main goal is to turn my hobby into a career. Wow, I have to think about that for a second. Okay, ask the question again. The new Porsche GT3 RS is definitely my dream car. Thank you, Theo Overhaus. Saturday evening at the Nuerburgring, doing fast laps on the kart track, a very special challenge. We're doing a kart event, a nice kart race for all Pro-Am drivers, for the organization from Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland and for the team managers of the teams from the Carrera Cup. 400 meters per lap, top speed on the straight, 50 kilometers per hour, and everyone wants to win, of course. I haven't driven all year. I'm motivated now that it can't get any worse. I'm looking forward to having a bit of fun with the guys and testing the future. The future with electric drive.
This one is karting. It's very important to the fitness.
Split into teams of 3, things get down to business. Great fun. Everyone says that, of course. Come on, we'll drive a bit just for fun until they put on the helmet and everyone is geared up and wants to drive in front. It's always like that. Whether we go running, cycling, we're athletes. We always want to be in front. Which team secures the fastest lap?
Okay, Ahmad, what's going on here?
I will fight with Huri, and I will take the present from him. What's the present you give me?
Present?
Yeah, Ferrari.
Present?
48.
But then, it's probably not going to end with a win.
We have in the beginning also crash, and after my cars have issue, it's not working, and we changed the car, and now the big boss, he crashed me and he spit me out of the track.
The race organizers will have to take another close look after the event. No, that's not possible. They're drivers themselves. Usually, I'm just behind the scenes watching how the drivers drive and judging that. Now to be out on the track with the team bosses and the other drivers and to have an awesome battle, that's top-notch. An exciting evening, and this is what an exuberant winning team looks like.
It was really good.
Guys, our prize, an evening with Harui, unbeatable. We had the slimmest chance, but still we creamed them. We are already very proud of that. Was specifically not pointing at him. A somewhat different race with a whole lot of good, clean fun at the kart track at the Nuerburgring. And here at the Nuerburgring, the Porsche Young Talents have a very special date on the agenda. A former champion in the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland is here. Timo Bernhard, Porsche Works driver and now team boss. This is tough competition. This is where you can make a name for yourself, where you can learn. You can get the tools here for later for a further career. That's what I can give you. Tips from the pros. In a chat with a successful racing driver and team boss who himself was once where the young up-and-coming drivers are today. It's all about hundredths of a second here, and whoever is good here, whoever drives in the top 5 has already achieved something. I think the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland has earned this trademark over many decades. Talking shop with the successful race driver. An hour with Timo Bernhard. It's really great what he taught us today, how to be even more successful, what else it takes to be faster, so we had a really cool conversation. Afterwards, the talent pool heads to the DTM pit of Timo Bernhard's team. Lauren Heinrich will be starting for him. Last year, he was still a Porsche Junior. Yes, the Porsche talent pool has accompanied me since my early days in the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland. Thanks in part to Wolf, the talent pool coach, I was able to take a lot with me from there, right up to today in the DTM. And for me, that was a key component of my success in the Carrera Cup. I was able to take a lot with me. Just like Ayhan Şangüven, also a former Porsche Carrera Cup driver. He's also competing in the DTM today.
In DTM, I think out of top 10, the 6th driver is from Carrera Cup, maybe even different brands. So I think it's also shows the direction of the Carrera Cup is really close to DTM.
For me, the Porsche Talent Pool is simply a huge opportunity for the drivers to simply make a name for themselves, also to learn quite a lot, to get the tools for their later career. I was lucky enough to have been a Porsche Junior over 20 years ago. And I think what you see in the Talent Pool today is just a progression of opportunities to train the guys. There's certainly a lot to take away today, that no matter what, bad times, good times, that you always do your best. I'm still fascinated by the car because it's really something cool. Really cool insights and glimpses into a path they all want to take one day. The young up-and-coming talents from the Porsche Talent Pool. Sunday at the Nuerburgring. A small celebration at Team GP Elite. Loek Hartog with an anniversary. He is driving his 100th motorsport race today. His father, Michael, has diligently counted. He is, of course, proud of his son. He encouraged him early on and was there for most of the races. I'm very grateful to have raced in the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland for the last 3 years. It's always important that you achieve good results every day. It's always a process, and it's gone well for me so far. That's all in this book, too. A very special gift from his father, and certainly enough incentive for Loek Hartog in his 100th race. Rain in the Eifel. Lots of spray, poor visibility. The 8th race of the season in the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland turns into a rain dance. When it's raining, you tend to misjudge the situation quicker. The poor visibility also plays a role, but fortunately, I don't have so many cars in front of me now. In any case, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, that's for sure in these conditions. And we are racing! 10 Forder with a good start, Boost with a poor one, but look at Alex Tauscher, that's a rocket start from P4 to P2 in less than 100 meters. The first corner, already a challenge when in stride. Andronarco takes to the runoff area, but the rest of the field make it through in such tricky conditions. Köhler is fighting with Boost and Hartog. It looks like Köhler is in the best position. Boost tries it on the inside line, but Köhler stays in front. We're riding on board with Jonas Greif in these really tricky conditions, and he loses it. He's pointing in the wrong direction, and bang, that's a big impact from Diego Stifter. Let's hope he's all right. In the replay, we can't see what led to the spin, but we can see that this was clearly a very big impact. Good news is that both drivers are all right. Frustrated for sure, but all right. We're ready for the restart. This is going to be tricky again. 10 Forder in front, Tauscher behind him. And here we have a fight for P5. King versus Jones and Hartog coming from the right. He gets turned around. This is not his weekend here at the Nürburgring.
It was very slippery on the track. I felt a bit like a ping pong ball after the second safety car. Another driver touched me and spun me out.
There's around 9 minutes of this race still to go. Larry 10 Forder leading the way, Tauscher in second, but under pressure from Bastian Boost. The Porsche Junior takes the chance to brake late and makes the overtake stick.
Good race. One good overtake from my side, and then finishing in P2.
Tauscher is now under attack from his teammate Leon Köhler. They go side by side through the corner. There is contact, and Köhler is passed for P3. Tauscher has lost 2 positions and a chance for a podium.
I don't know if I want to call it a disappointment, but it does resonate a bit when you miss the podium by such a narrow margin. But this is my best Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland result, and that makes me happy.
It's the last lap of the race. The fighting continues. Theo Overhaus now under pressure from Harry King. Harry King slides into him. Huub van Eindhoven, though, gets involved, spins Theo Overhaus around. It's a bad weekend for him, but he's still the best rookie. Larry ten Voorde, though, takes his 5th win of the season. It's a Nuerburgring Grand Slam for him.
It was a very tough week, and of course it was very nice and cool to win the weekend here. Ten Voorde has now taken a commanding lead in the championship standings. He's followed by Harry King and Loek Hartog. Best Pro-Am goes to Søren Sprang, with Ahmad El Shihab and Georgi Danchev finishing 2nd and 3rd. And as for the rookies, I'm definitely happy with 2nd place now. It's already the 2nd podium for me on the 4th weekend. Janis Stiak, the youngest rider in the field, finishes 2nd, just behind the winner Vincent Andronaco and ahead of Jacine Ferrati. The Porsche Carrera Cup starts again very soon. Next stop, the Lausitzring.